Hey, my iPod Titanic, Carl, and it won't stop sinking. It won't stop sinking, Carl.
All right, guys, I am here with the Spartan himself, K186. Yeah, check this out. What? So you're here at Alcon. What are you doing here? Is there a covenant here or something?
Protecting from the flood.
Oh, where are the flood coming from?
Dallas.
Oh, dear Lord. I didn't realize that there was a full-scale invasion here in Dallas. What are you going to do whenever they show up?
Take them out.
How?
I'm going to use my trusty battle rifle.
Jeez, that thing is beast. Let's show that up. Show that. Woo! Yeah, flood aren't going to be able to survive from that. So, you're a Spartan. Do you have like a little piece like Cortana, like Master Chief?
Absolutely. My AI.
What was her name?
Smith.
Oh, it's a dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it last name? Going with last names? Okay, cool. So, since Master Chief is kind of out of the picture a little bit, are you going to be the new, there's kind of a superstar that needs to be in the Spartan, army?
Absolutely. I'm part of the Spartan 4 program, so I'm here to protect Earth while the Master Chief is away.
Ah, okay. All right. So, K186, he's going to be at a video game near you. You got to watch out. Check it out. Now go fight something.
Guys, it is my pleasure once again to talk to Mr. Camden Toy. We missed you last year.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I understand, but you're a busy man. You got things to do. We're not actors. We are not actors, so we don't know your schedule. And in case you don't know the man, we can best refer to you as the man behind the mask. You have been in extensive makeup for multiple roles. We've seen you at Buffy. We've seen you so many memorable characters. But
thank you.
We get to have you here, out of costume. You're pretty free and everything.
Yeah, no, it's always fun to come and get a chance to hang out with the fans, and because honestly, like I've always said, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have a career. So
Well, honestly, you're walking around. You're always interacting with people. You're part of this con.
Well, thank you.
You are probably one of the. You've been the most consistent with coming to this con.
Oh, thank you.
You hang out with the people. Everybody loves you. Everybody always speaks highly of you.
That's very sweet of you.
And
Thank you.
and as a fan of yours, I'm gushing a little bit here. I'm sorry, but as a fan of yours, it's nice to know you're an actor that everybody can get along with.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, you are an actor. You got some new roles here that we have not seen you in.
Right.
And we were talking briefly. Tell me about the Lord Menace.
Lord
character.
Menace. Yeah, Lord Menace is a super villain in a comedy romance superhero movie I worked on called Now Hiring. It was shot in San Antonio, Texas last year. And it will be screening here at Alcon on Saturday and Sunday. Some of the producers and the writer-director are coming up.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, they'll be in town for
So
it.
it'll be a full, get a little Q&A afterwards or anything?
I don't know about that. That's a good question.
There needs to be.
You would think so, but I don't know.
We have so many hands involved in the
know.
process that
I know.
it needs to be.
I know.
Okay, there was another.
And then there was a gothic horror film I worked on, writer-director Joe Hollow. We did that last year, and that's called A Blood Story. And both of those actually just got picked up for distribution. As far as I know, they'll both be going DVD and video on demand. So, yeah. So A Blood Story and Now Hiring. So look out for those. Yeah.
I'm really interested in Now Hiring.
Now Hiring, it's a fun film.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it from the man here. It's a good film.
It's fun.
Now, okay, and I'm always finding out things that you've been in where I go, oh, he was in that. You were in the biggest, one of the, an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, it was a huge April Fool's thing that IGN and Nintendo put together.
A lot of us didn't appreciate it, I'm just going to say, but.
I was just a hired gun.
Don't blame
People would be so angry. Well, yeah, it was this trailer that was put together for Zelda. Writer-director Sam Balcom put it together, and I think what happened was it was so far beyond any of the wildest dreams they expected it to be that they thought, we can't just release this, we have to do something special with it. So they held it back as their April Fool's gag that IGN, guys, they do it every April 1st, so be aware. They do it with something, so they're always doing it to the fans. The fans, for some reason, every year fall for it. But anyways, they released
We're gullible.
it, I guess, but they released it as a check out the trailer for the new Zelda movie. It was just a trailer. It was like this 3.5 minute, 2.5, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was, and I think in the first 24 hours it was up on the website, there was over 1 million hits. And then, of course, they were like, April Fool's, and there's so many angry people.
I can count for 5 of those. Maybe 15.
So I ended up playing Sahasrara in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It was a funny gag. They got us. Just let it go. Let it go. But, sir, it's always good to have you at
Thank you so
AllCon.
much.
What are some of your? Do you like to attend any of the events at AllCon? Anything goes on that you want to attend? Are you just so busy? you
Well,
can't?
no, I attend a few. Like last night, they had a shadowcast of Moulin Rouge, which is, for those of you that don't know it, I'm sure everybody does, but just for those of you who don't know what a shadowcast is, it's like the shadowcast they do for Rocky Horror, where they have live actors acting out what's happening on the screen.
Right.
So they did that with Moulin Rouge, Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge last night. It was spectacular. It was so much fun. And then
enjoy some of it.
Oh yeah, and then Saturday they're going to have a burlesque show. Some local burlesque.
Yeah, I may have put that in my planner.
Local burlesque trooper is going to be doing that. So.
It's one of my favorite events to attend as well. Yeah. I'm going to make sure I have to go by there. There's no cameras allowed, guys. Sorry.
No, sorry.
But no, it's AllCon 2015. We're so glad to have you back.
You so
Don't leave
much.
us another year, okay? Don't.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Mr. Camden Toy.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm here with Long Lee of Big Ass Dice, and I mean, look at this.
The size of my head.
This is literally a big ass die. So, what gave you the idea to make these big ass die?
Well, 3 or 4 years ago, I was in my house realizing I used to play D&D, but I have no idea what happened to all my dice. And so I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just borrow one of my friends, and he let me borrow his dice, and I was looking at him, I was like, these are cool, but I want to see what they would look like, bigger, like soccer ball size. So I made them, and I go, oh, I'm like holding it, it's like, this is awesome, but I bet you I can make them bigger. So just on a whim, I made even bigger big ass dice.
Holy crap.
And I brought them to a convention, and it was like the day before the convention actually ran, so there's like all these people just running around, and we did a random live action game where we had like Gumby versus Toph from Avatar. We had 2 Hobbits versus Link. We almost had the Incredible Hulk versus Chuck Norris, and we were just making up the rules as it was, and we started getting a crowd just circling around us. And this is before the con actually started, and so we just started playing more and more games, and throughout the whole convention. And by the time the convention was almost over, I kind of just didn't want to take them home because I wanted to make fresh, new dice. And so I went to Madness Comics and asked them, hey, would you be interested in buying some giant dice? And they said, how much? And I said, $100. And they said, deal. Didn't even haggle. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I must have set the prices way too low. And so with the $100 that they gave me, I said, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can build more. So I used the $100 and bought loads more duct tape and just kept on going and going. It just kept recycling itself over and over. And so I kind of got to my own little starting of big ass dice for just lots of dice. And I just like the idea of people walking around with huge dice.
And I've already seen people walking around AllCon with these big ass die. And they're just walking around, hold them over their heads, everything. Now, what I like the most are the ones like this Harley Quinn one where they have like these little decals.
Yeah.
And especially, I take that back. That the Harley Quinn is not my favorite. This Harry Potter one is my favorite.
This is my personal favorite one too.
For the sole reason of, well, actually no, there's 2 sole reasons. The stripes on all the numbers and the scar on his head. Because they don't make 2 different colors of flesh dye, do they?
No, they don't. The face itself is, I guess, peach or whatever color duct tape they have. And for the scar, I actually used masking tape overlaid on red duct tape to give it a weird wound kind of looking color.
See, now that's really clever. I would have never thought about doing that. I would have been like, okay.
Yeah. I almost just put a red scar on his head, and it's just like a fresh wound, but nah, it looked like he was bleeding or something.
And I like the masking tape look better. Now, my other question is this your first time like selling? This is your first con where you sold them?
Officially, yes. I've walked around before. It's like originally I wasn't even planning on selling them. When I first started this, I was just the guy walking around with giant dice because I like the idea of people having giant dice. And so people was like, "Oh, do you sell them?" It's like, I don't, but I could. It's like, how much would you sell that for? And $20. And then they literally just give me, take my money. I'm like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble because I'm not a vendor, but if you want. And then I'd be like, diceless, and I have to go home and get my other dice, and it just kept coming, especially with the big ones. The more I kept walking around, the more people wanted to buy them, and that was kind of my cosplay. It was like the way to grab attention that people noticed, because you notice the guy with a giant D20.
Yeah. It's hard to miss one, especially when it's like bright green or red, something that's eye-catching.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I didn't want to get in trouble with conventions because at the time I wasn't a vendor. I didn't want to be the guy that's soliciting anything. But it's kind of hard to turn down random people just giving you money. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. But I'm going to try to get a table for real this time. And I finally do.
Right, and I'm really glad because I'm going to have to come back by later when I have cash instead of card and probably get this Harry Potter die.
Right.
Because
it's one of the ones I'm proud of.
And I really like it. I'm just going to walk off with it. No, I'm not going to do that. That's mean. Never steal. That's bad. Unless you want it more than the other person. Then it's debatable.
Never get caught. No.
Hey, why are you dancing?
I always dance, me, come on.
Guys, this is actually a good friend of mine, Jesse Arts. Jesse, good to see you again, buddy.
Hi.
Finally made it back to AllCon.
Yes.
But you are here this year as a vendor.
Yes, I am.
Tell me about what's going on with this table over here.
Oh, okay.
Fine things. And
Well, I am a leather worker, and I also do chainmail, scale mail, and just about anything that you need for custom cosplay or cosplaying something specific. Like I do a lot of Star-Lord work.
she also does a fantastic Mandalorian.
Thank you very much. I have 2 Mandalorians now, actually.
And they are extremely detailed.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you very much. We do everything custom, so we take orders. We also keep everything in stock on our Etsy store. So anything that anybody could possibly need, we can make it.
And you've got goggles, flasks. I mean, also, what's going on here with my what are these? Am I a dragon now?
Well, okay, you can be a dragon if you want to be a dragon.
Okay.
We originally, when we created something, I found these, and I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna do something like this. And my friend was like, well, here, let's make a story about them. So we started using them for my character. And he's like, okay, well, what if we did this? I find this creature in the sea, and it feeds on earwax, and when you put it on your ears, it enhances your hearing.
You hear the ears have a backstory, ladies and gentlemen. They do. Okay, now all of this is very impressive. How long have you been doing leatherwork?
I've been leatherworking for about 3.5, maybe 4 years.
I wouldn't guess by how beautiful everything looks on this table.
Thank you very much.
So, okay, your Mandalorian armor. How long did it take to get those two together?
Well, my first kit, I didn't have any grounds in the community yet. I didn't know anybody that was a Mando or anything like that, so I had no help. I had one friend in Kentucky that's done a TK, so I called him a lot and was like, hey, what do you think I should do with this? How do I attach this? And I pretty much just went off the CRLs on the forums. But I didn't think to look in Kansas City where I was living at the time to find anyone. So I made it. It took me about 6 months to make the whole thing by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And okay, now I've talked about it and I've maybe shown a couple of images here, but where can someone find your stuff if they want to get some of this fine stuff?
Well, my stuff, you can find it on Pinterest, Instagram, Etsy, and Facebook under JA Fantasy Art.
And we're going to put all those links down there, and you need to go over there and check the stuff out because it looks fantastic. And you don't take my word for it, just look at the stuff. Jess, great to talk to you.
See you again.
My buddy. My ear! My ear! Oh, my ear fell off!